Good morning to all the devotees worldwide. Today is the Disappearance of Srila Svarup Damodar Goswami Prabhu, and also is the Yatra festival of Lord Jagannath, Subhadra and Baladev. And we are going to read from Sri Gundicha Darshan. It's an article by Srila Bhakti Srila Goswami Maharaj explaining the vision of the Yatra by the Rūpānuga Sampradaya. So let's see. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Goswami Maharaj explained why Sri Jagannathadev's Yatra is not conducted in Vrindavan or Navadvip. Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. So I'm just going to read. Sri Ratha Yatraya Sri Rūpānuga Nuchintana. The conception of Sri Ratha Yatra according to the followers of Sri Rupa. By Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Goswami Maharaj. Published in the pen name of Upadesaka Pandit Sri Krishna Govinda Das Adhikari Bhakti Govinda in Sri Gundicha Darshan, Volume 13, Issue 1, on Sunday, the 24th of August, 1969. This year in Sri Purushottam, although there was a large assembly of devotees in honor of the occasion of Nava Kalevara, the Ratha Yatra festival, was observed more or less without hindrance. So it's actually today, right now, is happening, the Ratha Yatra of Lord Jagannath in Puridam. So it is broadcasted in YouTube, if anyone wants to observe that. Since the avatar of divine love, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Dev, revealed his pastime of dancing and chanting at the Ratha Yatra of Sri Jagannath, the follower of Sri Gundicha Darshan, the adherents of the Gaudiya Vaishnava worldview, have deepened their angle of vision into this pastime. Taking shelter in Sri Krishna's assuring words found in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhavatinam Mad Apanaha, your surety of meeting me. That's the meaning of that. The residents of Braja relish the festival of joy produced by the gopis reuniting with Sri Krishna after prolonged separation during the pastimes of the Lord's journey from Sri Nilachal, Dwarka, to Sri Sundarachal, Sri Vrindavan. So that's the meaning of the Ratha Yatra, right? From Sri Dwarka to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Representing his journeying from Sri Dwarka Dham to Sri Vrindavan. Like the satisfaction of eating after intense hunger, this grand meeting in Sri Braja Dham with the gopis beloved after extremely long, extremely intense separation causes a flood of unprecedented and unparalleled nectar, rasa, within Braja. Following this, devotees who relish rasa to develop their bhajan service have arranged the pastime of Ratha Yatra in many places in a material form to uplift the public and side by side augment their own bhajan. Throughout Odisha, and in the example of Mahesh and others in Bengal, this is clearly evident. Enactment of this pastime is, however, not seen in Sri Vrindavan. Akrura brought a chariot to Vrindavan from Mathura and took Sri Krishna and Balaram away. The impression produced by this causes dreadful fear to arise in the hearts of the gopis at the sight of a chariot. Later, the morning after Sri Uddhava arrived in Sri Vrindavan, in a chariot in the dark at dusk, after being sent by Sri Krishna to collect news of the gopis' well-being, intense fear and extremely intense sorrow was apparent in the words of the gopis at the sight of the chariot. Has Akrura come here again to collect our flesh for the satisfaction of his departed master? for the Shraddha of dead Kamsa. Thus, because the sight of a chariot caused extremely intense pain in the hearts of the gopis, this pastime is not seen to be enacted in Vrindavan. Many great souls who are adept in the Lord's service are also known to reside in Sri Navadvip Dham, which is non-different from Braja Mandal. Still today, however, no such great souls have been seen to endeavor to enact the pastime of Sri Ratha Yatra to develop their bhajan. What more, even at Sri Jagannathdev within a part of Sri Navadvip Dham, Saradanga, where a form of Sri Jagannath resides, we have never seen the custom of enacting Sri Ratha Yatra. In this regard, it must be asked in such an endeavor to gather the public in Mayapur of Sri Navadvip Dham, the hidden form of Vrindavan, favorable to bhajan or preaching. It is possible for those who are engaged in bhajan in the holy Dham, those who are engaged in the practice of devotion on the basis of theological truth, Sambandha Gyan, to see or try to see Dwarka here and there within the holy Dham. Consider by organizing a Ratha Yatra, can the Lord be taken from what is seen by great souls to be Gokula or Govardhan within Sri Navadvip Dham to Saradanga in Jagannath Kshetra or Harihara Kshetra? Thakur Bhaktivinoda made known the principle of related means regarding entering the Dham. Although Bhaktivinoda Thakur organized fairs and shows, showed many other endeavors to gather the public to broadcast the discovery of Sriman Mahaprabhu's birthplace as was favorable for preaching, he did not start a Ratha Yatra. And even among Visva Guru Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's tremendous, comprehensive, and diverse endeavors to spread the message of Sri Gaura, a pastime of conducting a Ratha Yatra in Sri Gauram was not shown. Is the reason for this that it's not a subject of interest for pure devotees who are interested in bhajan? Certainly, according to the path of proper conduct, a pastime of deities traveling in chariots at any time here in Sri Navadvip Dham is out of place. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada's own expression is Pujala Ragapata Gaurava Bange, worship the path of love in a posture of reverence. Regarding the meaning of Ratha Yatra on the path of shown by Sriman Mahaprabhu, Sri Rūpānuga's vision is Priya Soyam Krishnaha Sahachari Kurukshetra Militas Tataham Sa Radha Tad Idam Uvajo Sangama Sukam Tatapi Anta Kelan Madura Murali Panchama Yuse Manome Kalindi Pulina Vipinaya Spri Hajati. O friend, I have met my beloved Krishna in Kurukshetra. I am the same Radha, and we are both pleased by our reunion. Still, my heart desires to hear the fifth note of his sweet flute beneath the trees on the banks of the Yamuna. This is the vision that augments the bhajan of the followers of Sri Rupa. Background. Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj's explanation of the purpose of this article is found in chapter 25 of Affectionate Guidance. Are you listening?
Yeah.
So Srila Gurudev is now explaining the meaning of this article in Affectionate Guidance. Chapter 25. Srila Guru Maharaj from time to time gave an article to Sri Gaudiya Darshan magazine. One such article was entitled Sri Ratha Yatra Sri Rūpānuga Chintana. Sri Ratha Yatra Sri Rūpānuga Nu Chintana. This explained what the followers of Sri Rupa Goswami will think about the Ratha Yatra. At that time, the Mayapur Sri Chaitanya Math started a Ratha Yatra, but that was very painful for Srila Guru Maharaj because it was offensive to the Rūpānuga Chintadhara. This is very high Siddhanta. Mahaprabhu explained that the meaning of Ratha Yatra is that Srimati Radharani takes Krishna from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. But Mayapur is the birthplace of Mahaprabhu, who is non different from Krishna. So from Mayapur, where are you taking Mahaprabhu? They cannot take Krishna out of Vrindavan. No, they can take Mahaprabhu out of Mayapur. This is the thinking of the Rūpānuga followers, and this was explained in the article by Srila Guru Maharaj. However, I did not give Srila Guru Maharaj's name as the author because we knew that some other parties may try to contradict this thinking, and if a conflict will come, I should face that. But I should not push Srila Guru Maharaj to the front of any conflict. If I put Srila Guru Maharaj's name and anyone will give any objection, that will be offensive for them. Therefore, I put the name of one of my godbrothers. We wanted to show everyone what is the proper Siddhanta, but in the battlefield, we should not push our Guru to the forefront. I should go to the battlefield if necessary, but not that I will make my Guru go there. And there is a reference for this article here. When the leap month on the lunar calendar, which occurs every 2 years and 8 months, and is known as Purushottam Mas or Mala Mas, falls in the middle of the month of Adar as Sath, June and July, in other words, when it falls between Snan Yatra and Ratha Yatra, then the festival known as Nava Kalevara is observed, in which new deities of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and Sudarshan are prepared from a special selected neem, margosa trees, and the existing deities are buried. Nava Kalevara occurs at intervals of 8, 11, or 19 years, and in the last century it was performed in 1912, 1931, 1950, 1969, 1977, and 1996. So the next Nava Kalevara ceremony will be in 2015. And does it mean that it's now after 8, 11, or 2015? I think this year too. So this is the article in from Gaudiya Darshan by Srila Bhakti Srila Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And there is another article, very nice, about let's see. So maybe we can anyway, we can sing. You want to sing a song?
Yeah, which song?
You choose.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, okay. Right. What about Amara Jivan?
Okay, that's very good.
174. Amara Jivan Sadapape Ratha Naiko Punye Relation.
Amara Jivana Tapaperata Iko Punyeranlesham.
Ove Vayud Vega Diachi Jakoto Diachi Jive Krishna.
Deus Bega Diachi Ekote Diachi Vera Krishna.
Vijasuka Lagi Pape Nahidori Goyahina Swata Paro.
Vijasuka Lagi Pape Nahidori Goyahina Swata Paro.
Rahasya Duki Sada Mitra Rashi.
Rasuke Suki Mano Mitra Dasi.
Ravaduka Sukha
Arasuka Duka Koro.
Ashesha Kamana Hidi Maji Mora Purita Vayana.
Ashesha Kamana Dimaje Mora Kodita Babarayana.
Adamata Sada Vishoye Mohisha.
Adamata Sada Hidoye Mohita.
Agava Vibhushana.
Idagava Vibhushana.
Indranasa Hata Kaje Virata Kaje Ufuti Ami.
Idyada Shahata Visoye Virata Kaje
Artishta Lakia Sashakramana.
Ratista Lagia Satyaya Charana.
Navahata Sadakami. Hey, hey, no dujana, sadhana
Jaya Gaura. Or chant the Mahamantra maybe.
Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Gaura Hari
we're going to read an article by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur about the Sri Gundicha Marjan Lila Rahasya, the secret behind the cleansings of the Gundicha temple, which happens yesterday. But this is a nice article. And with a commentary, with a commentary of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hare Krishna. So there is an English translation of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 12.135. It's about the Gundicha Marjana, the pastime, the cleansings of the Gundicha temple that that happens yesterday, but we should repeat. This is very beautiful article. Masi? Come this way? Yeah. Good. So we're just going to read through again. It's a reminder for all of us about this, the meaning of this beautiful day of the cleansings of the Gundicha temple. So through these pastimes, Jagat Guru Sriman Mahaprabhu is teaching that if a fortunate soul desires to seat Krishna on the altar of their heart, then they should first of all clean their heart of all contamination. Making the heart spotlessly clean, peaceful, and resplendent with devotion is mandatory. If any thorny bushes, weeds, dust or sand, anarthas, remain within the field of the heart, then the Lord, the ultimate recipient of all service, cannot be seated therein. Contamination and litter within the heart means anja avilas, fleeting desires, karma, worldly action, gyan, speculative knowledge, yoga, and so on. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu said, anja vilasita sunyam gyana karmadi anabritam Anukuljena Krishnanusilanam Bhaktir Uttama. Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Purva Vibhaga 1.11. Wherever the soul's eternal natural propensity for devotion has been covered over by desires unrelated to devotion, speculative knowledge, worldly action, yoga, asceticism, or any mentality that is unfavorable to devotion, pure devotion is not present. And without pure devotion, which is by nature purely spiritual, Krishna does not appear. Fleeting desire. As long as I remain in this world, I shall gratify my senses exclusively. This sort of base desire, like a thorny branch, lacerates the pure soul's tender propensity for exclusive devotion, Kevala Bhakti. Worldly action, through piety, sacrifice, charity, and austerity, I shall enjoy the pleasures of this world and the higher planes like Swarga. Such selfish action is like dust. In the whirlwind of the cycle of karma, heaps of this dust, that is desires, cover the spotless and clean mirrors of our hearts. Desires to perform both good and bad actions, like countless heaps of dust, have contaminated the hearts of souls who are averse to the Lord for numerous births, and thus the desire for worldly activity has not left these souls' hearts. Souls that are averse to the Lord think, it seems that through action the thorns present within action can be removed. But this is a misconception. Those who are convinced by it simply cheat themselves. As an elephant smears its body with dirt again after you bathe it, so desire for worldly action is not dispelled by performing worldly actions. Only through pure devotion are all the soul's difficulties dispelled. It is then that the altar of the soul's pure heart becomes a suitable place for the Lord to rest. This is why a devotee poet has sung, Vakatera Hridaya Sada Govindera Vishrama. The heart of the devotee is always a resting place for Govinda. Monistic yoga and endeavors for speculative knowledge are just like sand. Through them, what to speak of the Lord's service or satisfaction? An endeavor is made to lacerate the Lord's body with a spear. Although, at the beginning of the search for non-differentiated Brahman, seekers of liberation may accept the Lord's name, form, and so on, to a certain extent, such seekers does not accept the independent existence of the Lord's name, form, and so on, at the time of their liberation or identification with Brahman. The Lord therefore does not appear within the heart of such unfortunate souls, who proudly consider themselves to be liberated, when in fact they are not. It is for this reason that Sri Gaurasundar did not keep straw, dust, sand, and other forms of litter, even within the boundary of the Lord's temple compound, but rather threw them outside using his own outer cloth, lest with the help of a storm of all such rubbish would again enter the temple. So this is the pastime was read yesterday about the Gundicha Marjana, cleansing of the Gundicha temple by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. And the meaning is explained here very beautifully. Yeah, but that's good to repeat it again and again. Often, even when worldly action, speculative knowledge, and so on have been dispelled, subtle forms of contamination remain within the heart. This can be compared to kutinati, pratistasa, jivahimsa, nishidachar, labha, puja, and so on. Kutinati means duplicity. Pratistasa means desire for worldly honor. May the ignorant call me a great soul on account of my solitary worship and imposture. Pratistasa means desire to be recognized as a devotee or avatar by showing a perverted reflection of divine emotions, such as artificial symptoms of ecstasy within one's heart, in order to fulfill one's selfish desires for worldly enjoyment. Jivahimsa means hesitation to, or miserliness about, preaching pure devotion, indulging Mayavadis, materialists, and enjoyers, and speaking so as to keep the attention of such persons. Labha or puja means living of the Lord's name, mantras, deities, or the Bhagavat in the name of religion, cheating the ignorant and accumulating wealth, honor, and so on. So by making business of devotional activities. Nisidachar means associating with the opposite sex and non-devotees of Krishna, such as materialists, speculators, and enjoyers. Sri Gaurasundar first swept out large heaps of all such sand, straw, dust, and so on that had accumulated over many days, and then, after cleaning every area within the temple, a second time with brooms and water began scrubbing the temple and the Lord's altar with a dry cloth. He was wearing so that no subtle blemishes would remain anywhere. Also, he was scrubbing the temple and the Lord's altar with the dry cloth he was wearing, so that no subtle blemishes would remain anywhere. After all the sweeping, cleaning, scrubbing, and so on, there was no trace of any dust particles or even subtle blemishes within the temple, which was not only spotlessly clean but also soothingly cool. That is, the practitioner's heart had become free from the burning pain comparable to being in a desert scorched by the sun, free from the flames of the fire of the three miseries produced by desire to enjoy the mundane, So adhyatmic tap, miseries caused by the body and mind. Adibhautik tap, miseries caused by others. And adidaivic tap, miseries caused by the gods. In fact, when desires for enjoyment and liberation, all fleeting desires, worldly endeavors, speculative knowledge, yoga, and so on, are dispelled from the practitioner's heart and the soul's propensity for pure devotion manifests, such peace and soothing coolness appears naturally. Ignorant souls do not understand that often, even when all selfish desires have been dispelled, a subtle blemish still remains within an unknown nook or corner of the heart, the desire for liberation. What to speak of the impersonalist desire for Sayuja Mukti, the liberation of merging into Brahman? Sriman Mahaprabhu scrubbed away with his own cloth even the subtle blemishes of desire for the 4 other forms of liberation: Salokya, residing in the Lord's abode; Samipya, being in the Lord's presence; Sarupya, having a form like the Lord's; and Sarsti, having opulence like the Lord's. In this way, adopting the mentality of a soul for the welfare of all souls, Sri Gaurasundar, as a Jagat Guru, personally taught how a practitioner should, with great enthusiasm, while loudly chanting Krishna's name, clean their heart for Krishna's sake, in order to make their heart a place for the pleasure, pastimes of the autocrat Sri Krishna, and be able to lovingly gratify Krishna's senses. Yadya Pyanja Bhakti Kalo Kartabhya Tava Kritanakya Bhakti Samyog Naiva. This is from Krama Sandarbha Tika on Sriman Bhagavatam. Although the other 8 practices of devotion should be performed during the age of Kali, they should be performed in conjunction with Kirtan. Sriman Mahaprabhu came over to every devotee, took hold of their hands, and taught them how to clean the temple. He praised the devotees who were serving well, and as the Lord adorned with the heart of she who is the personification of the fulfillment of Krishna's desires, Sri Radha, he benevolently chastised those whose service was not up to his standard, took hold of their hands, and taught them the proper way to serve Krishna. Not only that, he also instructed and inspired the pure-hearted devotees who were dedicated to the Absolute and proficient in serving according to his teachings to perform the work of an acharya for souls averse to the Lord. Tumi bala kari yacha, sikaha anjere, ei mata bala karma, seho jena kore. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 12.117. To devotees whose cleaning he approved of, the Lord said, "You have done well. Teach this to others so that they also perform well in this way." Furthermore, the Lord taught that one will become dear to the Lord to the extent that one can remove impurities from one's heart and keep it clean, and he prescribed the peaceful practice of service to Sri Guru Vaishnava for those who have not yet completed the process of anartha nivriti, the purging of evils. Jai Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Such a beautiful article, right? So which are the 9 processes of bhakti?
Shravana, Kirtan, Vishnu-smara, Parisavana, Archana, Vandanam, Dasyam, Atmanavadam.
Yeah. And the verse of Rishi Shastaka?
Which one?
Number 1, Cheto Darpana Marjan.
Everybody knows.
Do you know that one? Can you recite it?
Cheto Darpana Marjan, Bhava Mahadevavni Nirvapanam, Shraya Kladava Chandikara, Jivanam, Anandam Purivadanam, Patipatam, Punam, Vitasvardanam, Savatma, Snapanam, Pavam Prajayatane, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Can you explain?
Well, it explains that by chanting by chanting the holy name of the Lord Hare Krishna, the mirror, the dust, all the dust that's been accumulated for years and years and many, many lifetimes becomes cleansed. So like you have a mirror with dust on, and by chanting that holy name, the dust is removed, and you begin to see your true self. And our true self is as a servant of the Lord, and we begin to develop true, genuine bhakti, love for Krishna. So
very nice,
yes.
Excellent, wonderful. Jai Shri Gurudev ki jai. You want to sing Hari Haraja?
Okay. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama.
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 Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Rūpānuga Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopi
taking this opportunity to invite everyone to come and join us in some service here. There's lots of service opportunities, programs, worship, cooking, cleaning the Lord's temple, Tulasi Seva, fundraising, office Seva, gardening Seva, right? Devananda Prabhu? So, everyone is welcome. Don't hesitate. Please come. And if you can't come, you can do some remote seva too. There is all kinds of opportunities. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhar Yuki. Jai Jai. Om Vishnu Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Deva Goswami Maharaj Ki. Jai. Jaminu Srila Bhakti Rakapsya Deva Goswami Maharaj Ki. Jai. Jaminu Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki. Jai. Sri Rūpānuga Guru Varga Ki. Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat London Chapter Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Sri Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Sri Yatra Festival of Lord Jagannath Subhadra Baladev Ki Jai. Sri Guru Sultan Dham Ki Jai. Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Sri Svarup Damodar Goswami Prabhu Tirobhavatiti Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Anatikoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. And to all the devotees worldwide Ki Jai. Sri Harinama Sankirtan Ki Jai. Hridai Gaur Pramanam.